I should be lucky enough to have Michael Miley, drummer of Rival Sons, now live on the phone. Hello, Miley.
Hello there.
Yeah! Hello, bro.
I miss you.
I miss you too. Oh, it's like a little reunion just via my headphones and a microphone. Oh, it's nice to hear your voice. How are you?
That song sounded good over the phone.
Yeah, I bet you don't listen to it often on the phone.
I don't listen to it often, period.
Can you imagine if it was hold music, like when you phoned a really annoying telecom company or something, and they put Keep On Swinging on?
Well, that's what I was thinking, like, wow, that sounded actually pretty cool if I was on hold for, like, my cell phone bill or something, you know?
Because they do, I mean, normally it's annoying music when they do that, but probably people would end up getting annoyed with that track. You wouldn't want that. Or associating it with a telecom company, although you probably get paid quite a lot for that.
Yeah.
Hello, hotel on your way to Grand Rapids. Where are you?
I actually just checked in to our little hotel here in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. What's good about Michigan? Tell me what Michigan's like. I've never been there.
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is Detroit Rock City. You know, that's just about a couple hours from here. It's a lot of cool colleges here. It's a beautiful state. Michigan's actually a really beautiful state. Lots of lakes, lots of water. Obviously, Lake Michigan and all that.
And you're playing tonight at the Intersection.
Yeah.
And that's the first of a kind of 6-date US tour, which is basically round radio centers in the States, right? Yeah.
We centered it on probably like the most airplay we're getting regionally, because I mean there are some other regions that are doing well, but we could only squeeze it into this 7-day period.
Yeah.
So, you know, our team, you know, kind of worked out what cities, you know, we could actually get away with.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big place, America. Sometimes it's easy to forget how long it takes just to drive from one state to another. You know, that's kind of a whole day mostly taken up in that easily.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's 3,000 miles across, which is probably about 5,000 plus kilometers. And do you do kilometers I always forget in the UK.
In
miles
the UK, we try and do both, confusingly.
Okay.
We like because we like to have one foot in Europe and one foot outside of Europe. We're like, we're gonna have your kilometers, but at the same time we're gonna use the miles because we want to remain kind of, you know, balanced in all things, slightly on the edge, in and out, you know.
You guys like to be autonomous from Europe. I love it.
Yeah, a little bit. We like to be autonomous when it suits us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It sounds a little bit like America.
Yes, similar. So I'm sorry that I know that you must be super jet lagged. And this is, you know, the first day of a tour, and here you are having to do a little phoner with me. But I thought it might be nice to check in at the beginning of the tour and just tell people what you're up to.
It's my pleasure. I mean, I grounded myself on some wet grass this morning, which is for 15 minutes, which is supposed to reset your body clock, which is supposed to help with jet lag. Because the whole problem with jet lag is your body clock is off.
Yeah.
And the negative electrons from the Earth, Mother Earth, in rainy Chicago this morning, helped reset my clock. So I actually feel really good right now. I'm going to go running, and then I'm going to go to the gym, and then I'm going to go to sound check.
So you literally flew into Chicago and then straight into the back of a van? Yeah, you haven't gone via LA at all? No, okay. So you've got 6 dates in the States, crossing across. You'd play Detroit, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And then
number one. We're number one in Detroit
at the moment.
Yeah, almost eight weeks in a row on the Active Rock playlists there.
That's amazing. What track's that for? That for Keep On Swinging?
Keep On Swinging, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
We're starting from scratch in the States, so I think the UK is on like our 3rd or 4th single.
Yeah.
And we're on the Keep on Swinging is our
first single still. Yeah. I mean, that's, that a lot of your American fans always ask, why is that? Why aren't you touring more in the States? Would you like to kind of explain a bit more to them about that?
Because Europeans are awesome. The people in the UK really get it, and Americans don't yet. So I don't know. I mean, that's kind of I'm just taking the pee out of my my fellow Americans, but we haven't really focused on America yet. It's such a, you kind of have to have a military plan of action.
Yeah.
You can't just like, hey, let's go to radio. You have 50 states, and in those 50 states you have 50 cities, and and in those cities you have 5 or 6 radio stations. I mean, it's like exponentially. It's a monster, and you need lots of money. And so we've built a story for 2 years in Europe and the UK, Scandinavia, a pretty good story, and people like industry people are starting to take notice here. So, adding us to radio stations every week's getting a little better. So you got to pluck America, one hair, one feather at a time,
Yeah. When I think about radio in America, I often think about people listening in their cars whilst driving somewhere. And that's like, in my mind, that's one of the reasons why radio's so much the key for the States, because everything's so far apart and so big, and everyone drives everywhere. And I don't know if that I just invented that in my head, but that's the way I see it. And so I often, like, when I think back to my cousins in Kansas, and I imagine that, because, my cousin Joey has a pickup truck, and I imagine him tuning in to some station and listening to Rival Sons whilst driving home through these fields, in Kansas.
Well,
and I'm
it's funny, if I was listening to active rock radio, I'd probably turn the station. Because I mean, if you look at who we're going up against, it's like we really kind of don't fit. So this whole thing is, but people are turning their heads now towards us, but when you're going up against, Fall Out Boy and
who play real rock and roll.
Fall Out Boy apparently is saving rock and roll, so thank God for them. But we're going to follow on their coattails, and so it's all good.
Talking of following on coattails, for you guys, really, I mean, you said you don't really fit with them. It's quite right. I mean, really, you've got to blaze your own trail in the States, like you've had to in some ways in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, we blazed our own trail through a predominantly metal market that we were kind of we call it, like kind of advertised to or whatever. And the metal fans really took to us, and we love our metal fans, and I love metal. I can speak for myself personally, but in the States it's kind of the same thing, but it's like new metal, post-punk kind of stuff, and so we are definitely blazing a trail with playing maximum rock and roll.
Yeah,
what we're doing, the juggernaut of like improvisational, progressive blues, R&B music that we do, soul music turned up, is not fitting with Device and
maximum rock and roll.
Yeah, maximum rock and roll. I mean, so we could go on and on about that.
Yeah, we could.
But we're up for the challenge, and I think we're already proving here in the States that we're making a little stink over here. So
message to your American fans would be, if they want to see you live near them, they really have to request you on the radio, and start with the radio play, or buzz at the basic kind of ground level and upwards, because it's the only way to really build over there. And you're trying and you're doing it, and if anyone tweets you from radio stations or tweets you about wanting airplay, you support it on social media, you're going for it. But you need the fans to understand that in order to play many across the USA, you need the radio play there in order to get the bums on seats, as it were.
I mean, I just tweeted something this morning, just saying, hey, like, so many people chimed in on our Facebooks, saying, hey, come to this place, I can't drive that far, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, hey, we would love to come, but it really comes down to radio right now. So
Yeah.
We have to focus our lasers very efficiently and economically. And right now, that's chasing radio. Every band does it, so it's you hit the region that's doing well for you. It's kind of a no-brainer. And,
talking of your social media, your page itself, you quite enjoy stirring up discussions, don't you, Michael?
Yeah, I do quite a lot, actually, and I haven't even stirred up a fraction of what I could stir up, but I like to remain neutral as much as possible, but I do like to get people thinking, and it's mainly the stuff on my page is just about the world of music, world of art, and the world of technology, and how these three things. And my goal in life would be to try to blend these things in and not alienate one,
and encourage creativity, I think.
Yeah, we have to embrace the new age of technology. I mean, Led Zeppelin and Free, Jimi Hendrix, they didn't have Twitter, so as a band that wants to be relevant today, you have to definitely embrace it. But I think also you need to go see a Gustav Klimt exhibit when it's available, and or listen to some Mozart or some Rachmaninoff, and it's good for the brain cells,
Yeah, to open the mind.
Yeah. So I mean, art has always been a huge part of enlightenment and Renaissance, and Call of Duty and war games on a video game, I suppose, is going to be part of the new enlightenment, but
you can't see it at the moment.
So I'm just encouraging people to go see beautiful art and stuff like that.
So if you listeners would like to get involved with talking to Miley and debating these kind of things, you can on his Facebook. Just search Michael Miley, or his Twitter is Miley on Drums with a Z on the end. You can find a link from Rival Sons.
Just don't tell my mother that you want to do anything to her. So
no, well, the internet is the land of the trolls and people who take the piss, but we've had you can see that illustrated. I mean, this past week in the UK has really illustrated that yet again, with what occurred in London last week. The social media sometimes only makes these things worse. It's a blessing and a curse, but there's been a lot of people making a lot of sense, but for every one person making sense, there's 10 people being total idiots. But that I think is the nature of modern life.
It's the most disembodied social media on its negative side is it's disembodied. You're not face to face. So people sit these desktop warriors are shooting spears, and the only spears they have is words, and so yeah, it gives people, I think it gives people a sense of power, but it's like disembodied power. It's like false. It's illusory. The real thing comes out in the streets and in the clubs, in the museums, in the movie theaters. That's where it's all coming down to. And even in the coffee shops, people make fun of the philosophical hipster with horn-rimmed glasses, discussing politics. Well, I'd rather hang out with him than somebody who's trying to get a high score on some weird video game. But that's just my opinion.
But people, I think it's great that you're open to. I think it's great you're open to debate online. I think we should encourage people to go there. So I'm going to let you go in a minute because I know you're playing a show tonight, and I know you probably got to catch up on some sleep. Like you said, you've got to go running, and then you've got to sound check. You're a very busy man. Yeah. So I'm going to say thank you for joining us. But before I let you go, you are heading back to Europe. You've got 2 weeks till you're back in Europe. Do you want to give people a quick rundown of what you're up to?
Oh yeah, man. I was just kind of reviewing our dates this morning, and it kind of just hit me, actually, to be honest, this morning when I did lay in bed unable to sleep from jet lag. I was checking out our dates and was actually, I got really excited because I was just looking at everywhere we were going to go and some of the festivals we're doing, such as, of course, Download is a big stop on our...
Yeah, it's your only UK date at the moment.
Pardon?
It's your only UK date at the moment.
Yeah, the only UK date. We've played a lot in the UK, so this year, or in the last couple of years, I would love to play more. But as of now, Download. And then we start in Finland, which is really strong. place for us, and we open for Kiss in Italy and Switzerland. We're doing a big festival in Switzerland, Belgium, some club dates in Germany, I think.
Yeah.
There might be a
Holland
festival. Is Beat Pole a festival, or is that a club? I don't even know yet. I was looking at that. But I don't know. We're going all over Europe again for like about 5 weeks, and we will be bussing around and flying around in Europe once again.
Yeah. But that, I mean, you're back. Anybody can go and check on your Facebook anyway. The dates are there in a note, and they're in the blog thing. But from the 8th of June, you're back right through until mid-July. You're back in Europe. So if anybody's looking to see you live, and it's well worth it, they should go check out your Facebook or your Twitter at Rival Sons. And I'll let you go and do your running and your juicing and your, drumming and all that kind of stuff you've got to do. Yeah.
I got some weights to lift, some barefoot running to do in a park right down the street here. So
you're such a hippie. I love it.
It's weirdly enough, I fall into that category, but
you don't look like one.
I don't look like one.
No. All right, my love. Well, we're gonna finish off by playing Wild Animal, and I'm gonna thank you so much for joining me on the show tonight. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
Have a great show tonight.
Thanks, darling. Thank you.
And give my love to everyone.
Okay, and
all right.
I give my love to everyone listening, and thanks to all our fans, Rival Sons fans all over the UK. Thank you so much. We love you.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay.